Oh, by the way, sorry. Yeti mic, there we go. Because I saw a post about it about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so and it was somebody saying like, "What the heck is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it sounds like they're trying to copy Twitch."
And is that the case?
Yeah. Anyway, and so but because I saw it a month ago, what that tells me is they were like rolling it out gradually.
What is today?
Hey there, George from the Conlangery podcast. Be sure to catch Tongues and Runes every Saturday at 6 a.m. Pacific.
And the Conlangery episodes every time they come out, always interesting stuff.
And Madeline, I would commiserate with you about not knowing how to feel about this, but sadly you're not in the top 3, so I don't really care what you think.
David. I don't think you have my camera operational.
Nah, I don't.
Okay. Which I mean is fine. I'm over here.
Yeah, this was
finishing getting ready.
Oh my, hold on a sec. We need some.
Oh, I meant to turn on the big lights too.
Yeah,
Goodness. I just ran down, didn't even have my socks on yet, so I'm putting on my gnomes. There we go, Christmas gnomes. Because Christmas gnomes are really year-round gnomes, if you know what I'm saying.
So just to catch everybody up, I was late because I'll go ahead and show you. I should probably do that and that first. Here, in order to do this, I'm going to have to put that. Oh, also I have to fix Safari. There we go. So I'm going to show you the desktop because I've been working on these character cards for Savala and giving them frontispieces, which people on Discord will know. And so it has, the animal affiliation, and has a little story about the animal, and there's a spot here for artwork that will come, when there's an artist. And I think I mentioned before, I had my sights set on Ursula Vernon. I think she would be perfect. But anyway, we've been using as a backdrop the writing systems for the names of the characters and the names of the places. And so, by the way, the mouse orthography, quite economical. Really proud of how that matches up. The opossum one was a bit oversized. By the way, everybody can see this, right? Okay, good. The Haukoff orthography, I think I need to increase the UPM size. Mm-hmm. Basically, it fills the window too much. And then what's left? The cats.
I feel what you're saving for last.
Yeah, the cats were so big that basically it had to be split onto 2 lines. But that worked out pretty well for the kind of last names, which come first, and then the first name. Then the rabbits. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? So first, recall that we did these huge long names where we have the given name, the clan name, I don't remember.
Season of birth, litter, number.
Kaikeni is something else. This is like Selema is clan.
Oh, Kaikeni, isn't that the order? That's the last one. Tis is the number.
Yeah.
Oh wait. It was the door. What the family had over the door.
What the family has over the door. Right. Okay. And then the season, and then the order. And so I started to write these in. I started actually doing it left to right, just because, whatever. And it just was unbalanced and it didn't fit, and it was just a nightmare having to spell all of this and get it right. It's hard to read. And so I ended up doing 2 character columns which, by the way, there is some overlap because you can see sometimes the diacritic gets into the line up there like it does right there, but you just gotta. And even then, they're so big. I finally finished this one, which was Izenja Selema Halo Kaikeni Tevidi Pakegotis. It's this one, and it's so big that it needs to be shortened. And I thought, like, I could do this before the stream, and I was wrong.
You know, and I...
So this is what we're going to do.
I don't know that, David... I feel that you are downplaying how much effort this has been, because, like, I enjoy when I can get David to come to bed at roughly the same time I go to bed. And, like... David was like, I'm just doing this one thing. And that one thing was like enough for me to do all the laundry, get all the things done, get everything set upstairs. And David like comes upstairs in like a fugue state and is like, what's happened? And I think he managed to get like one name formatted.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
I think this is fine. Like, it doesn't super matter if it goes off the edge. So we're gonna...
I gotta say, like, YouTube ranking viewers, it stresses me out as just a person watching. And, like, I feel, too, like, it would have the opposite effect on me as a fan. Because I feel like, I don't know, I'm being ranked just by either participating or not. Like... I'm a super big collab fan, but like YouTube doesn't know it because I enjoy watching and taking it in. And I yell at David to write my comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, David, say this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so that one's done. Now I just have, let's see, how many more rabbits to go? Yeah, and by the way, like for the rest of these, I was just typing them straight in. For this one, I needed to just do an entirely different one just to be sure it was right. Let's see, so there's one rabbit. And then 2 rabbits. My God, am I down to 2 rabbits? I'm down to 2 rabbits. There's no Healy rabbits.
Oh no.
Okay, good. I'm down to my last 2 rabbits.
Oh.
Whew, thank goodness.
Well,
right.
You know what? We as a community can discuss this whole top fans thing because, like, if it feels good to you all, I support it. For me, I know our community, so, like, I know the name, so it's not like I'm a streamer with millions of people and I'm trying to, like, make sure I'm answering the questions from the people who are active the most. Like, I try to pay attention to all comments. And so it's not like as helpful from my end, but according to the question mark overview of information that I read while clicking on the top fans thing in YouTube, it says in the help center that I think we can turn that feature off.
Oh.
And so, I'm not sure we can do that in a stream without like one of us just reading through menu options, and Googling information, but like, This feels like a Discord conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how you feel about it. We want to hear from you, our dear community. Of names I don't know. I only see rankings.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be the type of thing where maybe after a month people would get used to it. I don't know. And if nobody's annoyed by it, then it's kind of like a minor, bizarre little thing where it's like, because it's just per stream, right?
I think so,
not ongoing.
And also, it's just a way for, according to the description, it is a way for fans to stand out in the community, and so you get these special badges. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. You send live chat messages or send super chat or super stickers, which again, if you're watching a stream with, thousands of people vying for attention all at once, that would encourage you to send, which cost money, the super chats and the super stickers
yeah.
to get recognized by the person you're like if you have a question or like if you just have something you want to make sure they address, like that kind of makes sense. I just don't know that it makes sense in our community where like I think I have yet to see a name pop up here who I don't recognize. And then you have David, who I don't think you can earn your own top spot, babe. I don't think you can do that. So
Yeah, but
right, Mateus, it does seem to encourage spam.
yeah. So yeah, I think that I can't imagine.
Aaron is
this.
working on that rating. Let's see how long it takes. Maybe I wonder if it takes characters per message into account.
Oh my God! It's that circumflex ah.
Whoops!
It doesn't go up. Maybe. Interesting. Okay.
Aaron, I don't think you've gone up in the ratings. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't think that worked.
Oh, and then you can put this. You're right. It does just kind of. Everybody's at 75.
It's like you've chatted.
Interesting.
Maybe to go beyond 75, you have to pay money. Man.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know who's going to win this stream? The Dodgers.
There you go.
They're going to win. Because David and I are going to a Dodgers game. Like, we're going to have to end potentially a couple minutes early, but, like, definitely right on time.
Yeah.
Because we have a Dodgers game to go to.
Yep.
And we're both ready for it. I stole one of David's T-shirts because my only Dodger shirt is a long sleeve thing that I'm taking with me for later tonight.
I just did something to my hair and suddenly I look handsome.
Suddenly. You've been looking handsome for like 30 years. Before that, you were cute. It's weird to call like a 10-year-old handsome. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Well, I think it's much more common with like a 5-year-old. Aren't you so handsome? You know, it's just like grandma.
No, I don't know. Sorry. All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hello, big lad. You'd find it a lot less surprising if you knew that we did this every single Thursday at 2 p.m. And I've been doing it for, goodness, it's been 5 years. It's been more than 5 years, hasn't it? Because it's 2025 and we started in February of 2020. It's been more than 5 years.
Yes. We're in our 6th year.
Yeah.
And so, Kobe, I think you were asking a serious question. If you were asking a tongue-in-cheek, like, who are these Dodgers? Sorry, I took it as a serious question.
Yes, they're named the Dodgers because that's a shortening of their original name, the Trolley Dodgers.
Because they were in Brooklyn.
Well, there were trolleys in LA too, but not at the time that the Dodgers were.
Okay. And the Dodgers are David's favorite baseball team. They are my second favorite because I still have hometown loyalty to the St. Louis Cardinals. However, as a fan of the Cardinals, I'm a very honest fan, and they are not having a good run of like the past 5 years. And so as long as the Dodgers are not playing the Cardinals, I cheer for the Dodgers. They're my backup home team.
Yeah, we saw a heck of a, I guess it was a play-in game, I don't know, between the Dodgers and Cardinals.
For the World Series.
That was won in the bottom of the ninth by a Chris, oh my God, what's his last name? He's gone now. He's actually went to the Angels.
You'd think I would remember this name because it dashed my hopes of the Cardinals having a chance at getting into the playoffs for the World Series.
Yeah, bottom of the ninth, home run winner to left field. It was fantastic. Seen some good moments at Dodger Stadium. That was one of them. Okay. Now, I'm going to just take a moment to look at the poll by myself since I forgot to review it because I was trying to finish that name.
And Kobe, no, not all of them are animal names, like the Dodgers aren't. But yeah, the St. Louis Cardinals, they are definitely a bird name.
Yeah. is the cardinal the state bird of Missouri?
I feel like that answer is yes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna find out. The state bird of Missouri. No, eastern bluebird. That actually makes more sense. We see a lot more bluebirds than cardinals.
Sure. I wonder why the cardinal got associated with St. Louis then, because there's a football team called the Cardinals, which was it originally started in St. Louis.
Let's see. Oh, well, let me give you a bit of history.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. Oh my gosh, they originally were named the St. Louis Perfectos.
There were some strange names if you go back to the 10s and 20s.
Yeah, this was, when I say, this was opening day in 1899. So 1899, they were the St. Louis Perfectos. Their uniforms were cardinal red.
Wow.
And so these uniforms, which they had the jersey, Red Sox trim and accents. Legend has it that the St. Louis Republic columnist, Willie McHale, overheard someone call the uniforms a lovely shade of cardinal and began referring to the team as the Cardinals in his columns, and it struck a chord with fans. And voila.
Wow. Okay, so what about the football Cardinals? Because certainly they came later.
Yeah, and it was literally only like a year later. So by the 1900 season, the nickname fully caught on, and even the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, which is the big St. Louis newspaper, began referring to the club as the Cardinals. And that year, the team gave up and changed its name. Okay.
Oh my! I don't even remember Perfecto Prep. That's a really deep cut anime fan. Man, I used to watch Tiny Toons all the time.
They were originally the Chicago Cardinals. I think I remember reading that, and it was actually named after someone who was a cardinal, like the church cardinal, not the bird. And so they inherited that team, which is weird that it was the Chicago Cardinals, and then they moved to St. Louis, which already had the Cardinals. And they had to actually they had to bid with the baseball team to say, can we share the same name?
Huh. In some other news, whatever I did... Huh.
What did you do, David?
Well, you remember how we didn't like the whole reason I put comments on my phone was because the comments would creep over and do like a double comment thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not doing it anymore.
Oh.
So that's nice. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Mm-hmm. Huh. Good news for David's. All right, let's get this poll out of the way. I posted earlier.
Chicago Cardinals also because of the red. It was the red uniforms.
Yeah.
And so that was also why they were called that.
Hmm.
Nothing to do with the church.
All right.
All right, sorry, go on. I've interrupted too much sports history.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right, so the poll was about how we were going to be doing ordinal and cardinal numbers.
So named because when people used to count, they only wrote the numbers in red ink.
Seriously?
I got you. I got David.
I would have believed it. I did believe it. Oh my.
Oh, that is great.
Anyway, so the at issue was again in Hauhoff. We had a lot of a lot of back and forth between lexical classes. So basically, like every single word could be a part of any lexical class depending on how it was used, but they also tended to reuse a lot of the same morphology. Even within it, it worked out really well. Honestly, we don't get enough praise for Haugoff. I think we did a great job.
It seems to be one of the lesser mentioned languages, but I will say, especially for long-term fans, I tend to see more discussion in terms of like favorites about Engala for nostalgia's sake and Tpachla for weirdness sake. And from there, it's sort of a grab bag, but we tend to have more people who gravitate towards cats in our community. And I feel that swayed the views on the language for like Sarkije versus Haugoff.
Probably. So anyway, the the issue is that the way that numbers worked in Haugoff was very specific and makes a lot of sense. The number becomes the head of the phrase. It becomes like the noun is the head, and then it's attached with genitive and so on. And then if you just want to throw it afterwards, then it behaves like an adjective, and so that's how we did cardinals and ordinals. We wanted to kind of leave that as an open question for the foxes. The first option was to do basically exactly what Haugoff does. So use the numbers as the nominal heads, follow the noun with, or the noun follows in the genitive singular, and then we just throw it at the end as an adjective. And Bob's your uncle. Get it? Bob. It's, well, in Lo Hakish it's Bob. In Haugoff it's Bub. Oh, I forgot about our little stickers. We need to put more of those on there sometime.
I don't know that we can. They're very limited in how many you can get.
No, I know. I just mean, using them.
Oh, using them. Sure. I thought you meant like more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was option A. Option B was the number always follows the noun. However, the number would, I gotta say, this one was the one I raised my eyebrow at the most. Foreshadow. Anyway, so like, yeah, the number always follows the noun. If the noun is non-singular and the following number is, and then a number follows it that is also not singular, then it means it's cardinal, right? And so you have plural noun followed by a number, then it's cardinal. If it agrees, then it's ordinal, because like, if it was plural, then it would agree, right? But if it doesn't agree, then it's a number. If it doesn't agree, it's cardinal. If it does agree, it's ordinal, right? And like, even with no cases, like you give it in the nominative, right? Kish Bab would have to be the fourth fox. It couldn't be four foxes because it would be Hakish Bab, four foxes. And we'll discuss what to do with these later. But that's how you can distinguish these four foxes versus these fourth foxes. There's a bunch of foxes that all have ordinal rankings, and so you're taking a bunch of them that are fourth ones, and then this fourth fox, and so on. So that's kind of the dual function. And for this, we'll need to come up with a separate word for ordinal one. Otherwise, there would be no way to distinguish between one fox and first fox. All right? But it's principled why we would come up with that. All right, so that was B. Option C was distinct ordinals. It was kind of like B, except that basically we just create some sort of little guga, like a little prefix that just says this thing is an ordinal. Makes it a little bit clearer.
You said guga.
Yeah. Little guga makes it a little clearer. So, any guesses as to which was the least popular?
The guga.
Yeah, the guga.
Probably because you called it guga just now. They
I
knew
know.
You were going to, and they were
went
like,
back in
wait,
time.
nope.
Anyway, so it came down between A and B. I posted earlier that the poll was spicy because it was. There was a clear winner. in the first 2 polls and a clear winner in the 3rd poll, and they were different. So that was wild. Anyway, in the end, it all came out in the wash, and option B was the big winner. Very clear cut. Done. So there we go.
Okay, but to address what we have now, and to address a very important question from Aaron, ranked at the top would be Husky. Now, if you're being really persnickety, specifically within that family, the Malamute is my favorite. If you're gonna be like that. Underneath that, it's really difficult because I do love me a Great Pyrenees, but also really like Golden Retrievers. So those 2 are right there. Beyond that, it's not necessarily, because beyond that, quite frankly, a lot of my favorite dogs are mutts. And I love them because they got little features from all over, and they just look so cute as they have little features of this and that. I also do like German Shepherds. And do you remember that like Norwegian Elkhound? Oh, I liked that dog too. But anyway, beyond that, you can tell, I think, what my ranking goes by is I enjoy a soft fur to pet. So short-haired dogs are not always my favorite, although I do love some short-haired dogs in my real life. Not to say I won't love them. It's just if you're asking my favorite breed. I like the longer-haired dogs, and I also like the bigger dogs. Again, I have some little dogs in my life that I adore and will continue adoring. But if you ask my preference, I would want a large dog.
So Madeline writes, my sister has a golden retriever named Duke, and really, a golden retriever named Duke is about the most American thing that exists.
Oh, border collies are cute too. Mateus, same. Love those big dogs.
Mateus is also a big dog person. Are there any big dogs next to Mateus? He's a tall drink of water.
Sure. Bib's here. Hey, Bib.
Oh, hello.
Absolutely, Tinguish. I love dogs that are, just cute little mutts.
This is okay. I have to come back to this this ranking. Like I don't know exactly how they do it, but it appears that the way that this ranking works, it is a race to 75 experience, and that's it.
And then everybody stops until someone pays.
Yeah.
Like 75 is your cap. And then I think
so silly.
I think Bib's favorite dog is
very small
is
game.
it pronounced Salish or Salish?
Salish.
Salish Bulldog. Nice. Oh, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. Look at me having a friend in Jake all of a sudden. Jake says, my taste in dogs is that I do not like them. Dogs bother me on a spiritual level.
But see, this is
Cats
why...
would be better, Carl.
This is why, like, you and me go together well, Jake and me go together well. It's because when there's a dog around, I want the dog, and I get between you and the dog. And so, see, like, I protect. So,
Fair enough. A couple of other just point of order shout-outs. There's Let's Have a Booba streams every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific.
And I think this coming Tuesday, well, hopefully we'll both be around.
Yeah. All right.
I may be on jury duty. Woo! So we'll find out throughout the week. Starting Friday, I start calling in, and then we'll find out every day after that if I'm on jury duty.
Yeah.
And I will happily do that, Jake, 'cause I sure do love dogs.
And then, oh wait, sorry. What else was I going to say? Carl Buck has a channel called Neography A to Z. Check it out. And of course, Madeline James. What's the last? Was it world building? Hold on a sec. Yeah, and Madeline James world builds, and she also has a channel to check out. And you may not have heard of him, the internet personality Biblaridian. He has a channel as well.
Is he related to the Biblaridian, who's our CEO? Is that any relation? No, two separate.
Two separate.
Because this is Sir Bib, and then last name Laridian is our CEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Biblaridian, mostly what's on his channel, it really is just responding to fans. Mostly just him reading messages that say things like, I love you so much, you're handsome. And he says, well, thank you, that's very kind of you, and then moves on to the next one.
I feel like also there must be a lot of fan mail just for your voice alone. Bib, you've got a great voice.
Jake says our CEO is Biblaridon.
Sir Bib, yes.
Hang on a sec. Bib, I would so watch you do an unboxing video.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But like, just really, really prosaic stuff. Like you got a new paper towel holder. It's just opening that. I would watch that.
Bib, Bob, you know.
Oh my God. All right.
We got some numbers.
We're
Is Bubba here?
No.
Oh, Bubba.
So let's get the number stuff done quickly.
Did Bubba vote?
Good question.
Right? Like, come unpack my groceries and read as you do. Like, comments.
Oh, shopping with Bib.
Nice. That could be a whole thing.
Could hear about him buying water chestnuts.
So for Biblaridian and other people who may not know, the unboxing videos, it's like generally they're sent a box from like promotions or people who sponsor them or things like that.
Or they buy a new thing that's popular, like iPhone or a game system.
Yeah. And so, and literally just take a video and talk through as they open. Like sometimes it starts out with, oh my God, I'm cutting the edge, making sure I don't get, like so excited. And then they open it and they like walk through and just keep talking as they open whatever's inside it. And so sometimes they don't know what's in the box. And so it's like they're reacting to that. Other times, it's something they had ordered. And so it was just them talking through it. Really, I feel like I've watched 2 unboxing videos quite by accident. One because I was like, what is this? I don't understand what's happening. And then the second one was because I even made David watch it. Do you remember that unboxing video where they like stabbed into the box and cut it open and it was full of yarn? And I was like, you knew it had yarn inside. Why would you stab and do this to the box? Like, there's yarn. And it made me so angry. I made David watch it and then I never like watched another.
Man, Mate's spilling the tea quite literally in the chat.
Oh, wait, what?
Just going over varieties of tea that he doesn't like.
Oh.
I'm gonna copy this.
Yeah, the loot box where you don't know what's inside, I would think would be more exciting than others, yeah. Yeah, right, Kobe, they did get 2 views out of me, but I will never watch another one of their videos.
It looks like we don't have a section for numerals. Where do we usually put that? Do we put it after noun, number, adjectives?
That's a great question, David.
Demonstratives?
I feel like it should go after all of that because then it's like counting nouns.
You know what? I think it should go in demonstratives because now they're demonstratives or kind of some of them.
Right. I think it should go in whatever section or after whatever section introduces the way it's used. And so they shouldn't always be in the same order, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right. Numerals.
Numerals?
Yeah. Anyway.
Scrolling down to join you. Little scroll.
I enjoy two things. Two things for different reasons with respect to Biblaridian's voice. One, I like listening to Biblaridian explain things sincerely that he knows a lot about and that is interesting. And so, like, for that reason, I think I would love to hear Biblaridian read a very good book, you know? At the same time, I also like to hear Biblaridian read things seriously that are ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So could also read a very good book.
Yeah. Like, for example, just reading the comments on, like, a Sex and the City fanfic on AO3. I would love to hear Biblaridian read that.
I love that that's where you went. Where was your brain prime? Because I was watching Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So you were there. You were
I was trying to keep you with me.
Got it.
You know.
I'm paying attention now.
I mean.
What's Samantha up to?
Yeah. There you
Carrie?
go. All right. So numerals. Lohakish uses the same form for both cardinal and ordinal numbers. Got to.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You are here right on time then.
Okay, it uses the same form for both cardinal and ordinal numbers. This is tough because, of course, that's not true for one.
You know, as David's thinking about how to word this, I will point out that it's still, I think, in the process of being all converted to chapters, but David's got an AO3 with all of the dialogue from, like, shows that he or both of us have worked on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's done up by series, and right now it's being redone so that each season within the series is treated as a chapter.
Almost everything. The last two big ones, Defiance and the 100.
Oh,
basically, I did them wrong, and now I got to go and redo them. My sister helped out a ton. She recently got through Game of Thrones, which was the other big one. It was,
and so anyway, just saying that because if you weren't aware or had ever been looking for, like, the full dialogue as it appeared in the episode, because that's actually one of the things that David does while we watch the episode as it airs with the dialogue, is double checking that what we had scripted is what actually shows up, because sometimes scenes are cut or whatever, shows up in that episode, and then puts it all out there so that way anyone interested can see. And it's just a space that's easy to kind of do it by fandoms in a place where people to be able to find it. So there is a link. One moment.
Yeah, my username is the same as I have almost everywhere. Daedalus, DEDALVS. You can find me that way.
Oh. Is Archive of Our Own altogether down for maintenance? Or is it just David's?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it says follow AO...
Dang, AO3 is down for maintenance.
Yeah,
what
it says
data
follow AO3 org on different sites for info, but I'll pop the link here. That's it. But it is down apparently. Well, it's Mate said, I'm amazed they let you do that. And it's like, it's published, it's out there. It's not like, so nothing.
Yeah, I don't do it ahead of time.
Yeah, it's never ahead of time. And like I said, like David literally watches the episode as it's airing to make sure everything we thought would be in that particular episode would be there. Because also sometimes a scene will get cut from one episode and put in the next episode. So we never make the assumption that what we translated will be there on screen, and we don't, We don't provide anything beyond what you could just do by taking notes as you watch it on the screen.
I hope nobody's reading what I'm writing. This is like the worst way to describe this.
Oh, I'm so excited to go find out what that is. Yeah, Magpie, it really is not, but it fits, and a lot of the people who would be looking for dialogue-specific information are familiar with the site and the fandom areas, so. There are indeed people who do safe for work stuff on there. ... oddly enough. I love that, Mateus.
Okay, here we go. It's gonna be all right.
I think this was a system that I had suggested using, and I think I said, here's a way we could make it work in between the two. I think mine, the one I was actually campaigning for was C, which got like no votes.
Yeah.
Was to, and by campaigning for, I mean just in my head, was like, this is my favorite, is let's make the ordinal different. But
okay.
But no Guga for us today.
Mm-hmm. I would like a verb for to see. Do we have that?
To see?
Yeah.
Not in this language, but in Helkov we have Hoa.
Well, let's see how that comes out. There. And we'll jump over to Lexergy real quick, created by the incredible Graham Hill.
Magpie is asking, can you not just say that ordinals are adjectives and thus agree like adjectives and cardinals are not?
Oh, Magpie. There are so many ways to improve what I just wrote. So many. The advantage of what I have just written has over an improvement is that it's already done and doesn't require more work of me. So that is where it's going to be left at the moment, and we are going to leave the examples to do the heavy lifting here. Okay, so Hoa comes out of She. It's interesting.
That is interesting.
Do we have a verb that like truly ends in a vowel?
Okay, so as a side note, David's mom texted
These are consonants. Really?
a picture with the caption, "You're famous, Dave."
Huh.
And it took me more than it should have to figure out why that was said. And it's because in this tiny little corner of the image, you can see the street sign, and it's David Avenue. But just this tiny little corner of the photo.
Pacific Grove is one of my favorite cities because, well, I mean, it's just a lovely place. It's next to Monterey, next to Carmel. Mm-hmm. And so if you know the area, you know it's very nice. But Pacific Grove specifically is a monarch butterfly sanctuary. So once a year, they are descended on by thousands of monarch butterflies, and they use monarch butterflies as kind of a decorative theme throughout the city. It's really lovely. Oh, okay, there we go. We do have, all right, fair enough. So, Shera. Good. So have we entered that verb?
In Lo Hakish?
Quietly dying. We did. Oh, splendid. I'm going to copy that.
I will say, David, I think it's been drier, and when they did the yard cuttings today, it just felt like there was a lot more crap being blown, and I wish I had known that it would be like that before they started blowing next to our house, because I hadn't shut the windows yet.
Oh.
And so I think more stuff got blown in, and so if your allergies are acting up, I think that's why it's just like there's more in the air right now.
Mayhaps.
Waiting. Okay, so
And show just gets thrown on the end, right? Yeah, show.
I'm trying to join you in the document. It's my poor little document's trying to keep up. Okay, so she is
show. On dreams perfected. Show. Yeah, so that's all good.
Delightful. Oh, David's definitely not safe for work especially when he's recording. God, could you imagine if you had to do that in an office where people could hear you?
Do what?
Record.
Record what?
Dialogue.
Oh, dialogue.
Even like your got a snort from you. Even if you're recording something in English, it happens too, because your book recording, you very accidentally dropped something that was mild for you, and it really made the sound producer laugh. But I was like, oh, that is nothing compared to what I hear.
Yep, that's my life. All right. Okay, so now we've got to see, which is good. And so they see is Chev.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Chev Hakish Bob. And then what's I in the accusative? Which does this language have one?
What is I as in the pronoun?
Rough. Okay. Chev Hakish Bob Rough.
The 4 foxes see me.
That's right. The 4 foxes see me. And so that's that. Now let's go ahead and switch it up. I think it's going to be Shera.
Oh, that's lovely.
And Wackish.
Just a second. Let me get down to that table.
Oh, I got you. Yep.
You're already there.
Wackish.
You know what? I'm just going to stay and watch you work.
I see the 4 foxes. I might break this up to do a longer introduction. And so I think that's just going to be She, Kish, Bob, Ruff. The 4th fox sees me.
Oh my.
She, Kish, Bob, Ruff. And I see the 4th fox is going to be Wakish. Abab?
Oh, can't scroll. I'm trying to go faster. Yeah, read Aaron's text. It's actually pretty funny. It's fine given what was going on today, but that could have been. Do you want to tell people?
Just more shenanigans.
Okay. V initial. But where's... It's ho. It's an H in the accusative singular. I'm beach balling. I'm sorry. I can't...
All good?
I can't scroll. Is it hokish?
Hokish. And the agreement is going to be an O. Okay. So... Shera Hokisha Bab. I see the 4th fox. There we go.
Love it. What are we staring at now? Comments?
I was just wondering if I should do the 4th foxes. for maximal clarity.
I mean, we could, just so that way it's there.
Okay.
But it's so weird to just have that sentence without context.
Yeah,
because it's like the fourth foxes of every line, but even then it would be like the fourth fox in every line.
Yeah. Every so often, though, you just come up
I want the fourth foxes.
You come up with context for really weird sentences. What was that one in Severance?
Oh, the me.
It was like the you me, wasn't it?
Something, but yeah, it was like a pronoun use
As an adjective.
as an adjective for another pronoun. And it made perfect sense in the context where it was being used, but it was so confusing, like when you just thought about it. And like the first thing that David and I then said to each other was, I would hate to translate that. Like, how would you even do that?
Mm-hmm.
It is magpie. And in case you all didn't know, the UUR is actually, as of right now, partially available on Apple iBooks, 8 chapters for free. There's an author disclaimer at the beginning, which makes it sound like there will eventually be more available. But you can get 8 of those chapters for free, and I've been every now and then trying to remember to read a chapter to David aloud, because it is so hilarious.
All right, there we go.
So much good.
Shev Hakisha Babrov, the fourth foxes see me. Sherawaki Shabab, I see the fourth foxes. There we go. All right, so now there are 2 more pieces of information that we need to get down.
Kobe just said exactly what we all need in our lives. Bib reading the UUR as an audiobook. Oh.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Bibler reading, if you haven't gotten a chance to see Severance, I forget if you watch television.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a shame. It's kind of the thing that we do usually.
David and I, or you and Bib?
I mean, not just watch television. I mean, that's our job is usually working on television shows. You know?
I mean, I quite like TV, so I'm...
Yeah.
And I have like my favorite rewatch series that I just love having in the background even as I do other things, just so that way it's like a friendly cafe whose sounds I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
It's so delightful. Oh, so Mateus, in the show Severance, and that's just the title of it if you haven't heard of it, there is a particular character who's sort of like a motivational speaker kind of character who like uses that energy to write books for people, like self-help books. And his most recent book that he's written is The You Are, and think of that first U in all caps, right? So like the you are. And so it's like the you who you are. And it's all about trying to define self-concept and like figuring out who you are. But it's like, it's written, it's so silly. Like it's so over the top, making fun of the kind of language and verbiage that you'll see in self-help books that are perhaps less than helpful to the readers, not the ones that are actually getting into the nitty-gritty and like really trying to help people. More like, I'm going to talk at you and use big metaphorical things to like spiritually ground you and no spiritual foundation.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but also, I mean, to get quite at the meat of the bone, speaking in a way that sounds like an 8th grader who thinks they're being smart. A lot of misuses of words. Be like, you know, saying something like, you know, it's hard to come up with these just off the top of your head, which is why it's so good in the show. But like saying like, you know, it is injective truth that, you know, you'll, and so on, you know.
And yes, Magpie just gave a quote. That is perfect. That is a perfect quote to sum up everything we're saying.
So Magpie is written down. What separates man from machine is that machines cannot think for themselves. Also, they are made of metal, whereas man is made of skin.
Yeah. So funny. And oh, Kobe, that's lovely. Kobe had said that we are that background friendly cafe noise for Kobe during work, and I love that.
That is nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I will say, I will say, I do not put all self-help books in the same category, because it really depends. Because technically, I would put, even like teach yourself language kind of books as a self-help almost book, because it's the whole intention is you to get somewhere. And I think there are some really well done books, or books that can be thought-provoking, that are self-help, but then there are also the less helpful ones that the you are is absolutely nailing on the head with how silly they can be. Ooh, Gupdu is drawing right now. Excellent.
We have the opportunity to do something that English does that I think is quite interesting, and that I don't think gets a lot of attention. I think it's one of the best things about English, and I'm sure that it just happened a bit by accident.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that we have this, and if you want to, even if you want to follow, morphology quite strictly, English has a morphomic suffix, which is s. And you have to call it a morphomic suffix because phonologically it always is the same, but it has 3 radically different uses and even comes from different sources. So possessive, king versus kings, plural, king versus kings, and also third person singular, sing versus sings. Collectively, that is just one suffix, right? Because phonologically it always behaves the same way, and so you call it a morpheme. Anyway, one of the brilliant things about English is that you say something like, the cats dance, the cat dances. And so it's like the S trades off which one it's on, depending on whether the noun, the subject is singular or plural, right? And I just think that is so cool. It's so neat. It's kind of an accident of history. It's not like it was done on purpose. But it's like you look at other languages that have agreement and they're perfectly happy with doubling it up. For like singular, nothing. For plural, here it is here and here it is here. But in English, it trades off. It's so wild.
Well, trade-off, sure, if you want to consider the modern forms and the fact that they are. But, where it came from, plural was absolutely marked.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just a bizarre accident of history. Anyway, we have the opportunity to do something similar here. And so I'm going to write it out the way I'm imagining, and I want to see if you like it. You don't have to like it. Okay, when modified by other demonstratives, the demonstrative itself will show variable agreement. It will agree with the noun it modifies when the number is used as a cardinal, but not when the number is used as an ordinal. This is what that would look like. Okay. Doop. Okay.
But I will say it's always funny whenever you're talking about like inflections versus derivations, and like your goal is to teach English grammar linguistic analysis, and it's like inflection marking is so few and far between in English that it's like, here are the 8 grammatical significances that can be marked through forms, and 3 of them are marked by S. And there's only like 8.
Actually, I'm gonna change this up. Ah! Woo! All right. Ah! Oh, sorry. No, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. All right. Okay.
You're right, Magpie. Yes. Yeah, I agree with what you're doing, David, because it follows the spirit of the whole demonstratives have weak and strong forms, and if something else is already marked to indicate the information, it loses the marking. So you don't get obab mu, you get obab mu. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, I think that this one is not very controversial. It was whether you were on board with this one.
Madeline is having chicken bacon gnocchi for dinner. Are we stopping by Madeline's house?
You can't just drop that in chat.
Woo! But listen, Madeline followed your rules that you were persnickety about like a month ago and warned you that in a moment she'll have to go to eat dinner. So did the requisite warning before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And so seriously, Madeline, enjoy. Like that sounds absolutely fantastic.
There's been an update, by the way. Somehow people were able to get more experience. Maybe it slows down or something?
Oh. Yeah, Mateus is number 1 now. 150 XP, Mateus. Man, okay, be honest, Mateus. Did you like just flash your computer or something?
Madeline sliding into the top 3.
Oh! Top 3 before you leave.
Okay. So, are you down with this top one, though? Because I think that one is the real question. So, in other words, Bob there is not treated as an inflection. And so, effectively, it is like this is happening. And over here, it's like this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, are you okay with that?
I actually am.
All right.
Because it's saying I'm sensitive to what's right before it.
All right. Pretty good. All right.
Yeah. Hey, David.
Yeah.
It's time to celebrate.
You don't want to wait until we come up with an ordinal form for 1?
No. I want to celebrate now because we just figured this big part out, and the rest of the stream can be devoted to first.
I guess we should make our ordinal form whoever's number 1 in experience.
Well, it's Mateus. Oh, Mateus is 2 now.
Oh my
Jonathan
God.
is 1.
Oh my God.
Oh. Jake is 2.
What
Mateus,
is that?
I guess were you knocked down to 3 because you were at 2 and now Jake is? Oh my gosh.
I have a theory.
Woo!
I have a theory as everybody's topping out at 150. Here's my theory. I think you get 75 experience per hour.
Half hour.
Per hour.
Oh, the whole first hour, and then everybody jumped up as soon as it clicked over to 3.
Yeah. And then, like, if
Gotcha.
you want to go beyond that, you have to pay money to YouTube.
Wow. And, just a second, sorry.
Little cheers?
Cheers.
All right.
Well, no, my
Boy.
wrapper wouldn't let me hold it upright, and I wanted to have it in the right, upright position before I cheers you. That is wild. And now Madeline has left, having lost the number 3 crown, but having also made sure to state the intent of revenge for next week. I love it.
Kopiko, when you're number 1 in experience in the chat of a YouTube channel that's streaming, there's only one reward. It's so bad. I'm so
You could
sorry.
have just done like Kopiko.
It's so bad.
We know who's best. Like, you made it too complicated.
I know.
That is like perhaps your worst Kopiko slogan ever. I'm sorry. And I know I've looked at a lot of your slogans for that calendar
Sure
I put
has.
together.
Oh, do you know that I don't know if this is a reference, Jonathan. Do you know that I have a unicorn head full of Werther's Original?
Think about what you just said. context. A unicorn head full of candy. Now, I'm sure you can all figure out that it's not a real unicorn head, nor is it macabre. But, like, it just sounded so weird.
Here, let's actually use your camera since it can move. There we go. So this is the unicorn head. And then, here, go ahead. It's actually,
Just a second.
it's a little empty now.
Woo!
But you can see I'm getting to the end of the Werther's Original. And I'm kind of excited about that because what I really want is butterscotch.
Mm. Okay.
God, I love butterscotch.
And by the way, if you're not on the list of the top fans, it's because you somehow didn't break the top 10, and we're still not 100% clear on how they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe says,
What?
I need you to do SOMW. What is that?
Look at this. It says the language has found a way to cheat it.
Mmm. How did you do that? Ooh, melon candies. I bet David would enjoy those. I'm not big on melon flavor as a candy.
I've only ever had watermelon flavor as a candy. I've never had any other type of melon flavor as a candy.
Oh, I see, Kobe. I was like, what should I be doing? I thought it was like some secret thing. I love it. We do not have WertherCon.
It's a little depressing. Everybody just shows up and Sorrows of Young Werther.
Okay. I see where you're going. I thought you were trying to be clever in another way that didn't sit as funnily as I thought. Okay. 3 messages per hour. Yeah, and just has the same 125 XP as everyone else, and yet. Or 150, rather. But yeah, no idea how these rankings. Ooh, Aaron must go and sleep. Enjoy the sleep.
Oh,
Have a great week.
I don't know. That doesn't sound exciting to me as like bacon chicken gnocchi.
I think both are equally exciting depending on where I am in the moment. Like, if I'm ready to go to sleep, chances are I'm not ready for a dish like a gnocchi dish that's a little bit heavier.
I could be about
I'm
to.
like ready to sleep, you know?
I could be about to get into bed. Somebody could call up, "Hey, we just made chicken bacon gnocchi," and like I would be so out of it. I would be so out of bed and down the stairs.
I am very happy for you.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you're happy for me.
That's good. Yeah, right, Magpie? Like, it does not seem to reward who got there first. Don't really understand.
All right.
So first, babe.
Exactly. How do we do that?
Well, we do have the verb to lead. We could turn that into an adjective. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one option.
I felt like we had a really good option previously. Like we talked about one.
I would love to hear someone telling us what great option we had.
I don't remember if it was last stream or the stream before, but
Okay, I don't know how we don't
Later
have a
on here.
word for this, David. But my other idea was to base it on something, the word meaning nose, which we do not have because that's always first on a dog or a fox, your nose. Especially when they would have been on all fours originally before they straightened up and became bipedal.
I feel like it was something that we saw in the Hauhoff dictionary where we were like, that would be a good ordinal for one. But taking note of nose.
Okay, so Nemo is saying that it's if the XP is the same among the top fans, it's who's watching the longest that gets pushed to number one.
Oh, interesting.
And so, yes, everyone who is late is being punished. Rightfully so, as you and I are never late. Tethys is here.
The Tethys?
Tethys. Does that mean Zorro is here? Well, Kobe, you're being punished because you didn't come over to our house and also start our dishes. If you had done that, you would be like number one fan forever. Zorro's not around right now, so you say hi to Zorro when you see when you see him next. Our Tethys is indeed the best Tethys in all the land. Next week, Kobe. We'll be ready for you to do the dishes next week. Just start them. You don't have to actually do anything. The best this. Yes.
Okay, so we had nose and lead, both good options.
I'd also thought head in general, because that, the top, but we also don't have a word for head. I also don't think we have a word for top.
I swear there was some idea we had, and it was so good. But I was like, well, we should actually discuss ordinals, and so we set it aside. How do you stand up, like the first one to stand?
I also looked for parent or like father, whether they're a patriarchy or a matriarchy. We do have mother in Helpa. We do not have father.
There was something I know.
Oh. We could also play around with the idea that if there is somebody who is leading, all you see is their tail. Was that something? Because I thought I remember looking up tail.
I remember something like that. What's the word for tail? We passed
Gwed?
it. Or I passed it. Gwed.
Or Gred for the protoform. So grade is the protoform.
Yeah. Snout. Oh, we don't have a word for nose, but we have it for snout. It's row of.
My goodness, I apparently can't type today. Okay. One, we can start playing with forms to see if we actually like how these turn out in Lohakish, to see if there are even options we want to pursue.
Yeah, I agree.
Two, we could use this for a little poll right now and see, get our viewers active, since they're all dispirited by the crown rankings and not being in the top 3. We want to let them know we still want their input. Kobe says, what about footprints, since foxes are more solitary than dogs?
I feel like we had that. I could have sworn we had footprint. Oh well. Alright, well let's do... Nope, wrong language. Okay, if we did snout, that would be rov, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
We know what lead is going to be because it comes out as D.
Right.
Tail. We already have the word for tail, so we know what it comes out. It comes out as gvid.
Okay. And then we don't have words for like head, top, or the nose, the tip of the snout, because the snout was the full muzzle, and then the nose, of course, the end.
We could come up with a word for that. We have this word that means to wag a tail that maybe we could use because it's like...
They see the wagging?
Yeah, it'd be quite old.
I only wag my tail when I'm in the lead.
Yeah, or if that's not very Foxish, maybe we could come up with this word for nose.
What does wag come out as?
C, but I was just saying, I don't know, do foxes wag tails?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought we had this conversation last time.
You're right.
Or sometime, and I think Bib actually came on and gave the official comment that foxes wag.
Okay.
I think. If I'm wrong, correct me, but...
Bib already and knowing something about animal biology.
Jake puts your comments on the back right burner to simmer.
Okay.
My.
What should our word for first be? So I'm going to only put modern forms in here.
Patrick. Oh, I expect nothing less from you. Bib says, I'm pretty sure foxes wag their tails. Certainly the foxes in the fox farm experiment did. Ooh. Oh, Sissa Languages is going to bed. Does that mean number 1 is up for grabs? But for real, Sissa Languages, thank you for being here. I know it's late for you. It's always a joy to see you. Mm-hmm. And sleep well.
How did this come up, Jake?
What's that?
Oh, I keep thinking about David's comments on X-inspired languages, and I think I'm still processing them. Oh, I see. So it was just a non sequitur share. Understood. Yeah. Well, I think one of these is going to win by a nose, Jesse.
Oh! Does that mean we're going to be creating some new words?
Yeah.
All right. That means we can get something we like the sound of.
Oh, I mean, I just did the word for snout.
Oh, got you. I thought, like, create a new word was one of them.
Mm-mm.
Gotcha. I was not reading the poll around the comments / my attempt to draw a fox freehand without looking at something, and it came out all wrong just now.
I want to see.
It's really bad.
I want to see it.
It's really bad.
I want to see it. Aww.
Seriously? Draw a stick figure and David would be over here like, it's so good.
I love your art, Jesse.
Well, I'm glad you do.
All right. Let's see.
What was...
Pretty sure it's L.
Oh, and I will say, okay, so just saying, because this is going on in chat, and I do want to address this. So Jacob mentioned that the comment that's been simmering is something like conlangs directly inspired by specific languages tend to be something you see in young beginner conlangers. One, that doesn't mean you don't also find it in more advanced conlangers, especially conlangers who enjoy doing, a posteriori languages. Because there are a lot of very advanced, well-seasoned, amazing conlangers who enjoy a posteriori languages, and those are directly inspired by very specific languages. And so, like, you definitely see it. However, I think what the comment was perhaps trying to capture was the direct inspiration that actually isn't meant to be a posteriori. It's just effectively like recreating a language structure for structure without an intent to say this is like a daughter, this is moving forward. I saw that a lot as a teacher, where effectively I could see, oh, this student is studying ASL, this student is studying Spanish, where it's literally like the grammar ends up matching because they don't necessarily know how to think through other options that are not, from the bigger realm of possibilities. It's like learning the structures, and so they find something familiar that they can sink their teeth into and use those to create then the structures. So there's nothing wrong with it as part of the learning process, as I've seen it. And I think the more comfortable you get, the less that happens. However, that does not mean that we are not inspired by what we see in natural languages, and I think all of us do that because all of us continue to study, and I say all of us because in our community I see people mentioning what languages they're at least dipping into informally, and so 100% like features of Finnish have inspired ideas about certain things that I have done in my own conlangs recently, but that is not like when you look at the features as a package, it's like, well, that is not a recreation of Finnish. It comes out differently. So anyway, did I capture the spirit of that comment, David?
Yep.
Okay. And so, anywho, that's all to say. It's really hard. I actually hate getting that question from someone who's not a linguist and not a conlanger. That second half is especially important because we tend to get the question from like reporters or from just people in audiences who are not familiar with linguistics or conlanging and who ask like, oh, I heard this feature was inspired by this language, and they take that to mean like we took that language and like literally just copied it feature for feature, and trying to explain the difference between inspired by a feature and like based it on a language is like two completely different things. So yeah, it really does hang on the degree of inspiration, and it's like something that we definitely have to be careful about how we talk about, because when a reporter hears you say one thing, they then put it in their written product saying that effectively we just use other languages. And it's really frustrating. It's like, no, that is not at all what was said.
And often they don't say that in a negative way.
They don't, no. Like, we just sat down and said, we're going to take Spanish's grammar and pop in our own words and, retcon the whole thing.
And they're like, isn't that cool?
Yeah. So anyway, that's what that's about. And if you recall my last CopyCon presentation, a big chunk of it was there's no way really you're going to create a naturalistic conlang and not hit the features that are already existent in natural languages, because there's like literally only so many combinations of things, and so
every language has done everything.
You can have a fair bit in common with a language before it starts looking like that language just in code. And I will say there's a lot of beginning work that does look like another language in code. And again, it's a learning process. It's figuring out how languages work in general.
Okay, so I think I need to essentially copy these. Okay.
Nice. I think, yeah, it's a good, Mateus, to kind of set goals to remember like what it was that you had wanted.
One fox sees me, I see.
Oh, thank you, Jake.
Fox.
Yeah, Jake is referring to the most recent article on fiat lingua. I had so much fun with that, and like I had actually kind of forgotten how much fun I had. So I went back and looked at it. I was like, oh, right.
Oh yeah, especially for people who are somewhat new, definitely go check out Fiat Lingua. In general, Fiat Lingua is a kind of loose conlang journal where just a new conlang article is published every month. And it'll be totally random. Some of it will be essays about conlanging. Some will be just a thing in a conlang. Really just anything. There's some academic work, definitely some non-academic work. Other times just presentations of a conlang. And this month, the Fiat Lingua article is Jessie is reworking her very, very first project. So she is one of those conlangers who started very, very young with kind of a cipher project where she took English words and mixed them up and created the language Ishglen, which you can see is just like English but mixed up. Anyway, Jessie asked the question this time, what if I still started that way but tried to make it an actual conlang that works?
I think
it's fascinating.
The scenario that I gave it to say how this could happen was effectively a bunch of like-minded people used this code and used it so much it became sort of their in language, and then thinking about, as it progressed, how would it evolve from there. But anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun because really it brought out all those things that I loved and still love, from playing with letters, mixing things up, seeing what's pronounceable, to looking up etymologies, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Tethys.
Oh, and yeah, definitely want to emphasize that anybody can submit it. This is not a journal in the sense that I'm going to review what you've sent and find it wanting, send you a bunch of fixes, In fact, it's kind of the opposite of that. We'll publish anything as long as it's conlang related, and if you actually want to update it, you can later on. You can just upload. You can just give me a new version, and I'll upload it, and we'll keep track of the changes. It's something not a lot of posters have taken advantage of, but definitely some. So,
well, and I sent David a new copy of this. I found a typo myself.
I know. It often happens right after it's published.
And yeah, it is. Somehow my sticker didn't show up. Tethys mentioned the footnote about the diacritics. Yeah. I do love my diacritics. Which David is not. Did you remove my sticker, or is it just not visible?
What?
The Canon sticker.
No, it's there.
Is it? It's not from my screen. I can't see it anymore. I see my comment. And
Are you in Top Chat?
There's no, I'm in live chat.
Huh.
Like I see my comment and it's blank.
Oh, that's weird. It's
empty.
I see it plain as day.
Well, other people can see it, and that's all that matters.
Here,
I put Canon in there.
Here, I'm going to try doing one.
There we go. I see yours.
How odd.
See if yours disappears, because I saw mine at first too. It just disappeared after a minute.
So hey, check it out. We have written up this entire numerals section. It is super complete and super informative. Now we can never talk about numbers again. Let's see if Bubba shows up.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, we're getting...
Thanks. Yeah, Nemo was on a LangTime chat episode recently.
Yeah?
And so it's another good one. I don't remember what number. 63?
No, I don't remember the numbers. I don't remember when we're doing it. Anyway, we're getting very close to a point.
Ooh,
We
yes.
have 4 really heavy syntax issues left. Coordination, relative clauses, questions, and... just 2 different types of questions. Yes, no questions, WH questions. We might talk about subordination at some point. But we're getting close to asking ourselves what we want to do with the orthography. And as people who have been following this season will know, this will be unique in that we're using the same proto-glyphs that we used for Haugoff. We're just going to take them in a little bit of a different direction. That might take work to figure out that poll. So if we can, if we can start looking at either relative clauses or coordination or questions and see if we can come up with another poll, that would give me another week to
Yeah.
think about it.
And I definitely... So, especially when you're talking about clausal coordination, so we could start by just thinking about noun phrase coordination, but like a cool feature of clausal coordination is that it's almost, it is really hard to like separate that discussion from also thinking about how you would then handle subordination, because the whole point is like you join these 2 clauses equally versus this one is, dependent or somehow lesser than the main clause. And so it's like marking that difference means you really need to understand how you're marking both kinds of relationships. And doing noun phrase coordination first sets a potential foundation for that, because in some languages it's just the same. But in other languages it works differently because it's effectively 2 different grammatical processes. And so I think we should go into noun phrase coordination first and focusing specifically on and as the coordinator. Because you can use other conjunctions with joining noun phrases, but those are harder and quite often you don't end up talking about in the baseline run through of the first version of what you do for coordination. You start with and you can move out from there. What did we do in Haugoff for?
I'm pulling it up. It's the coordination section in Haugoff is very long.
Love it.
All right.
But looking first just at and.
Noun phrases are coordinated via a prepositional phrase that is identical to the comminative. So on the side of the cat and the dog are sleeping, Mea is cat. Nope, is sleep. Sorry. Mea, sleep. Cat, onale, and, or along with, Bram, the dog. And then you just flip over the nouns for the same thing. Mea Bram onale, onale. Mea Bram onale. That's it.
At the side of.
Yes.
Null is the actual and.
Yeah. So
Ish.
kind of.
Ish.
Basically, o is at null. Or onal rather is at the side, and then a or I is
Genitive,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just momentarily was getting confused on where dull as the protoform went, and like I suddenly was like, oh, that's what's happening.
And it's also comminative, so that's how you say is doing something with. Sleep was perhaps a poor choice, but if it were like the dog is walking with the cat, you'd use the same thing, onale. Or onalai, I guess.
Okay, so David.
Yes.
You can keep talking.
Okay.
call it the joinative. That's what I'm going to call it.
Joinative.
Okay, so option 1, which means grammaticalizing. I would say it would even get being, whoops, at the side of
That is
to
peak.
conjunction. Option 2. Okay. Okay.
So just want to point out to those on the Discord, Jonathan said, see Discord for the results of the pets. And honestly, that has to be one of the best pictures of Laguna ever. That is one happy cat, and I'm so glad that that cat is happy.
I have our 3 options laid out under coordination.
Wow. I have to read these. All right, option 1, follow Haugoff's example and use comitative for NP coordination for basic and joinative reading. Grammaticalizing at the side of to a conjunction. Option 2, hint at the scent of Haugoff's strategy and use comitative for NP coordination, but come up with a new source of inspiration for the comitative, like that. Option 3, shake our wet fur at the Haugoff strategy and straight up create a distinct coordinating conjunction to use for our NPs.
Which then could, of course, mean that it not only is and, but also could be used for and then, and may also be able to be used clausally, because it could get, just like a lot of languages do, be used across the board.
Wow.
And so I think those are our 3 options, and how much we come up with to support that, I think, is up to us. I think it could be a potential waste of energies to come up with actual forms for these, because if it doesn't get voted in, then we could use our energies elsewhere. I think it's potentially better to leave the strategy open and say next stream we can actually nail down the forms.
Yeah, I like that.
David's favorite verb? Chisu. What is chisu?
I don't know, but it starts with a T and is followed with a J, and so I see a mistake.
I automatically devoiced it.
I know, but no, we had a discussion about that one. Incidentally, if I see 4 coronal places of articulation in the same language, I'm inclined to think that some sort of mistake has happened. or it's something like, for example, if we consider Tamil technically distinguishes dental, alveolar, and retroflex. However, they are never all distinguished in the same place of in the same spot in the syllable. And there's actually just 2 of them, and they change where they are depending on where they're at in the word. Something like that makes sense, and in which case you're talking about romanization, you favor phonological spelling in that case. No, I have not been ignoring your Australian yapping and yammering. Nevertheless.
And so I do want to point out that option 3 does mean that we could still use at the side of to mean with, but would have technically a different reading. And so Magpie, thank you for mentioning that, 'cause you're absolutely right. Did someone catch that as an emoji? Are we going to make that a react? You got to pause the video just right so you can see the eye roll while...
My goodness. Incidentally, two of my favorite eye rolls of all time. Two of my favorite eye rolls of all time occur in the movie Debs. One by Janet Ritchie's character, and the other by oh my god, most famous actress in it. How have I forgotten her name? Lucy Diamond.
Oh.
Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm. I almost said it, and that was the wrong one from Fast and the Furious. Because I almost said Michelle Rodriguez, but that's the other main character in Fast and the Furious. It is, come on, go faster. My internet's, apparently, I'm, literally. Jordana Brewster.
Jordana Brewster.
There we go.
Anyway.
Yeah, like, once I had Michelle Rodriguez in my mind, I couldn't.
Yeah, she has the most, and there are two different types of eye rolls. She has the most amazing, super quick eye roll I've ever seen, either on film or in person. Extraordinary. And then Janet Ritchie has the really big, exaggerated one. So good. That movie is incredible. If you haven't watched it, then you've not done your LangTime homework. All right. Okay, so that's wonderful. Thank you for that, for the poll. Do you want to take a look at yes/no questions for the rest of the time?
Wagging my tail.
Speaking of wagging a tail, I believe that's how Huff does yes/no questions.
Oh.
Yeah. So the old te, which was to wag a tail, it's called modern kya, and that's just thrown at the end. So meabram, the dog is sleeping. Meabram kya is the dog sleeping. And then same with negative. So like, chubram ayoho, the dog is not a mastiff. Chubram ayoho tya is the dog not a mastiff. Same thing. Pretty simple. Comes from tail wag. And we already know, based on our previous poll, that would come out as C in the Fox language.
So it just comes out as C, like in Spanish, like you did this, see,
Oh,
or French.
That wasn't where I was going.
Where were you going? Oh, see, that old gangster voice you do.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was a really bad imitation I did.
We're gonna knock off that bank tomorrow. See.
Yeah, you're much better.
There we go.
Okay, I kind of like that just because it's hilarious.
I kind of like it too. Okay. But no, now that I hear it, yeah, C is also funny. C. All right.
By the way, so WH questions, that's honestly just a term that gets used quite a bit. But another way to refer to them are content questions. And so if you're trying to find a term that gets away from WH, which is English-based, content question is a really big one out there that linguists tend to use typologically.
Yeah, there's one for each of them. So yes/no questions are also called polar questions. And WH questions are called content questions. Yeah. Used interchangeably. Should probably switch to polar and content. I don't know.
Yeah. It would be nice.
You know why I did it? First of all, this is copied all the way from Dothraki.
When we do a lot of our language documents for work, we are trying to explain the features to people who are not linguists. And so we do often use terms that we wouldn't use if we were writing the same information for a linguist. And so that really does make a difference.
And not just non-linguists, but almost 100% of the time monolingual English speakers.
Yeah. But yeah, polar question, if you want to use, and if you want to look up information, you'll end up seeing a lot of cross-references where people will say like, polar questions, what we call yes/no questions in English or whatever. So that way you'll get hits on both. But yeah, polar questions is the more open term, and then content questions for the other. Jonathan, is X true is an Arctic question. isn't X true is an Antarctic one. Love it.
All right.
Excuse me. See? Oh, I'm delighted. I am so delighted.
Let's see.
You can just pull a sentence like, I see the fourth fox. Do I see the fourth fox?
I'm going to pull this sentence. This is my fox. Is this my fox?
Oh, hey, have any of you studied Korean and know of a great resource on better understanding how the sounds are produced so an English ear can distinguish the difference? I'm currently working on learning the Korean alphabet on Duolingo, and like I'm doing really good, I think, progress wise. What I'm not doing good at is really hearing the difference between what is romanized as an O and then what's romanized as a U in certain contexts, where I'm like, I swear it's the same sound. But then in other contexts, it's like I can hear the difference, so I feel really happy. But in some contexts, I'm like, I absolutely cannot hear the difference. And then hearing the difference between what is romanized as a K versus what is romanized as a G, especially in initial position, I am really struggling with that. But like, I don't just want to go look online and be stuck with what is not as helpful. And Jake, that is what I was concerned about, because it's like okay. Well, if you do know of a better one, that would be awesome.
This is the way that it's worked for me. If I hear something I'm like and going, is that O or ooh? It's O. Because the other one always sounds like ooh.
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. I've had ones where I was like, is that one or the other? And I go ooh, and they're like, no, that was an O. And and so anyway, it is one of those things where it's like I 100% like, as I'm doing, like, if they're just saying do the site and take this Korean form and turn it into its romanized form, I'm on it. I got it. It's really when they start, like, what did you just hear? And they give all the variations on the options where I'm like, it's one of these four, and they're like, here's all four, choose one. Oh, it is so difficult. Mateus, were you did you type something in Korean and did it just like absolutely shift it for you? Is that what happened? Yeah, right, Jonathan. They still get it wrong sometimes. Oh, interesting. And part of the problem is because it's, of course, in isolation. So it's like you're learning the letters and what sounds they can make coming together. You're not necessarily learning the words. And it's like, if you were learning the word, when you saw it, you could be like, oh, I recognize how to put this particular word together. Even if you don't understand why the O is kind of pronounced more like in what your head is in ooh, you recognize it as a full form. And I think that's part of the difficulties when you take that away and you're just teaching, the alphabet. Oh, Tethys, go enjoy dinner.
Dinner of
Probably.
Chicken and bacon gnocchi.
Probably not. I don't think Tethys is going to Madeline's house right now.
By the way, going to Madeline's house is how we're going to refer to chicken and bacon gnocchi from now on.
This thing that we have talked about so much.
Yeah.
Yes, and have had 0 times in our house. We've had gnocchi, but not chicken bacon gnocchi.
Yeah. So one of these days, I might inquire what's going to happen for dinner, and you're going to tell me we're going to Madeline's house.
You're laying that out there real strong. I think every gnocchi I've made for you has been vegetarian so far.
Yeah.
I don't think I've made a meat gnocchi.
Let me clarify.
dish.
Now, obviously, she's not here to say for herself, but I was assuming this was just going to be regular gnocchi that has chicken and bacon like on top of it.
Oh, there's a whole discussion. The
There
chicken
was.
and the bacon is in the overall dish, not like in the gnocchi.
Yeah.
And I'm saying though, the dishes I've made for you have been vegetarian that have gnocchi in them.
Mm.
I have not yet made a gnocchi dish with meat in the dish. Definitely not in the gnocchi.
Oh, wait.
What's that?
I put a heart on something that I didn't mean to. It's just kind of a weird thing to put a heart on. Makes me feel like my mother.
What'd you put a heart? Oh, sorry. I'll ask later.
I mean, it's... Natalie wrote, sorry, the peanut handoff took longer than I thought.
And you hearted
Heart?
it.
Like,
Love that for you.
yeah. Embarrassing. Now I'm afraid of unhearting it because, like, I don't want to draw attention to it.
like just don't notice. And there's a chance that she won't notice.
Yeah.
So there's also a chance that she's going to walk through the door and say, really? You loved that? Peanut is David's parents' dog, which is a Chihuahua
It's the
named Peanut.
funniest, tiniest little white, yellow Chihuahua. He's hilarious. And now his tongue is permanently out, so he looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, he's got the side tongue. Yeah. Oh. A tonal distinction with some of those initial consonants. Interesting. So I think what I'm hearing is I just kind of need to muddle through the learning of it and then really focus on learning the words, because I need to get the alphabet down before I can really hope to put what I'm hearing as word forms being said to me to, actual spellings of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's do some word enterage.
Okay. We need to get the C entered, don't we?
No, I did that.
SII?
Oh, I didn't do that.
Like not the verb to see, the verb wag a tail actually.
Yeah, and we have to decide if that is going to survive into the language as a verb or...
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be this question particle. That is how I feel about it.
Yeah. Oh, we still have bilabial fricatives in this language, do we?
That's exciting.
Okay, I'm just entering a pronoun. Look at that. I, first person, singular, personal, pronoun. Think. Enter some of those.
I would say in general, a lot of people don't know what the distinctions are in their language, because when you ask them about it, it's just like what they think of in the moment, and it's not necessarily reflective of how they use it in context or how they say something in context. And it's not meaning to be mean. It's just, it's really hard to analyze your own language. And as Jonathan points out, without linguistic training, it's very difficult. And even then, you may think this is a pattern that I have established, but then if someone records you for the next, 3 weeks and analyzes your data, you may find out that the pattern you thought that was real is not.
Okay, so we've already got, I was just trying to do something simple and I've already... Yeah, so we did things to get our nominative forms for our pronouns, and I don't remember what those things are. The proto-form for I is Raf. The modern nominative is Rafi. And I also don't remember if that is supposed to be Rafi or Rafi. And I think knowing the etymology will help us to determine that.
David. David.
Weren't my fault. I did it proper.
David.
Man, you know who I'm missing? Miles.
Miles isn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Jake. I do appreciate that.
And I also appreciate the reminder, Jake, but of course, my sister isn't here yet. So.
But also, you're not ready for your sister because you're not wearing what you're wearing tonight except for your shirt.
I'm wearing shorts, in case anybody was wondering. Goodness. But
yeah, but I know that that's not what you're wearing to the game. Like, I don't care that you're wearing shorts.
No, but you implied that perhaps I was only wearing a shirt.
Never mind, I almost made this a not safe for work space, and I am not going to do that.
Anyway, but I would be...
You would know.
If my sister were here, we would be probably ending the stream early, and I would be upstairs getting changed. It would all be happening, but, I mean, she's not here, so, Hat tip, Matthias.
So I'm just kind of scrolling through stuff. We did something to augment it.
Yeah, and you see there's a ta form for both second and the third contrastive, and then we have that same ta in second plural, I think. And then the same u in hari for first person plural.
I mean, other than like this is just going to take a lot of quiet staring. Not super interesting.
What? It's going to take going back to when we created these pronouns. How could we do this? How can we do this? Like the whole point of writing, we weren't going to do this anymore. We were going to be like writing these things down and remembering and all that. What even gives us U in this language? Is it, does EW give us?
I think so.
No, EW gives us Eve. EU? EU gives us long U. Not schwa. Right, you can't have schwa in vowel combos. Patrick, do you remember what we did when we came up with these pronouns? It wasn't here, was it?
Oh, here and there?
It was here and there. Here is EW.
Yeah, write that down right now.
I just want to make sure I have the protoform right. Yeah, the protoform is EW, and we just said that even though EW comes out as Eve, we were like, it's old enough that, okay. And because of that...
I was trying to search, and now I'm beach balling, and I can't help.
And because of that, if it's I here and you there, then it should be first stress. So Rafi and Bota. Hari, us here. Tohta, you there. All right. here we go.
Where do you want to write it? Otherwise, I'm putting it under the personal pronoun chart.
Don't do that. I'm just putting it right here. So Rafi, Raf, and this is I plus, which is here. And then I'll enter some other pronouns so that, or at least one other one with ta so that we remember it.
Well, bota, second person.
You got it.
It's just B-O-T-A.
Yeah.
And that's singular.
Yeah. And I think that it's bull is the proto-U. And then tha.
Ooh, it is a new hour. People are moving up in our top fan.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
You. Second person singular personal pronoun.
And then we do need to cut it off after
Yeah.
this because I need to.
No, absolutely.
I need to prepare a few things to get ready to go as well.
Understood. We're taking water with us for the drive.
Of course.
Oh, awesome. I love it. All right. There you have it. Lavuna takes the top spot.
Woo! Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you all for being here. We will keep you updated if anything has to change for next week, but even if it does, David could still, I may be on jury duty, babe.
Oh, right, yeah.
But we'll keep you updated. I think last time I was on jury duty, David helmed the stream solo, and as long as he's up for that, I think we'll plan on being live with or without me, but hopefully with me. Hopefully I get a week of you're not needed. So everyone, stay grammar. Have a great start to your July.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.